Welcome to Millennial Psyche, a place where we help to put your mind in motion. If we move through our day with an open awareness of the many good things around us, we correct the brain's built-in negativity bias. Psychology says our brains have a propensity to give more weight to the things that went wrong instead of to the ones that went right. This is called the negativity bias. It's such a natural phenomenon, it's almost second nature. When this happens, it can sour our mood and even cause us to dwell on unnecessary things. Thankfully, there are tools available to combat this psychological trick, and almost anyone can curb them with enough practice. In this video, we're going to be discussing 6 tips to overcome negative thoughts and boost happiness. 1. Recognize that it is not nearly as bad as you think. The first step to overcoming negative thoughts is to understand that it is your inner nature to have these thoughts. It's as normal as breathing even. And as you become more aware of it, also know that it is something you can override. Reboot the system and notice that it is nothing but an overreaction, and it's not nearly as bad as you think it is. Perhaps you have certain triggers that activate the part of your brain that engages in fight or flight. When this happens, stop for a moment and redirect your thoughts. One trick to recognize your triggers is to write it down whenever you notice yourself going down that rabbit hole of negativity. Note it daily and notice the difference in the weeks and months to come. 2. Make time for happiness. In Millennial Psyche, we believe in schedules. As Tony Robbins said, if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. This can also apply to happiness and how we make time for it in our lives. If we don't make time for it, then naturally, we won't really have it. And why should we leave such an important aspect to fate? It is up to us to create our own destiny. To do this, choose something you really enjoy doing and structure your daily life in such a way that you have a steady stream of positive emotions. Create situations that naturally bring more happiness to your life. 3. Create the space to reflect and recall positive events. Now that you've created moments of happiness that scattered throughout your day, it will be more effective to reflect on these events. That way, it will have a longer lasting power and it can even alter the very fibers of your brain and neural pathways. Notice how the more you do something, the easier it becomes. The same can be said about your thoughts and mindset. The more you think of something, the easier it will be for it to be second nature. So to curb negative thoughts, make it a point to start the day with powerful visualizations about the things you get the opportunity to do. And end the day appreciating the good things that happened. 4. Dissociate your identity from the events in your life. Ever wonder why we dwell on the negative things in the first place? More often than not, this happens when we think that we are the events that happen to us. If we believe this, we do ourselves a disservice and disempower ourselves by thinking we can't do better. At times, it even begins to become our identity. And that is where all the crap will hit the fan. A better approach is to separate the things which we can control from the things we don't have control of and focus on that which within our reach. 5. Stop reading the news. Is the news stressing you out? If so, you are not alone. The news is predominantly negative, and any sane person won't be able to relax after keeping up with current affairs. Media and such know how much we humans tend to be more impacted by the negative. And so they use this information so we will, in fact, consume them more often. There won't be news without an audience anyway. So try to consume uplifting content instead. But if you really should, then allocate time to keep up with the world and stick to the schedule. Don't say we didn't warn you. 6. Let it pass. If a scheduled rom-com binge doesn't do the trick, then perhaps the only other option is to write those negative thoughts out. Light up a candle and run a long hot bath. Think of everything you need to think about. Think about the worst thing that can happen and let it all come to pass. But also keep in mind, whenever you think about all the reasons something won't work, sometimes all it takes is one reason to think about it will. Perhaps the reason why it is in our nature to notice the negative is because deep inside, we all share the same fears and just want peace of mind and security. A wise man once said that gratitude is the antidote to fear. So always fight for the things you want to keep in your life. But don't let what you want keep you from enjoying what you already have. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. Keep up the good vibes.